Hi, it's Pete Reed from Illuminate ICT, and what I want to do today is just have a quick look at the new Google Photos app. So here I am on the Nexus Tablet, and what I want to do is to have a look at Google Photos. Now there in the middle of the screen is the Google Photos icon. If you can't see the icon, then what you can do is just click on the six-pack at the bottom centre, and then here you can see all of your apps. And it's in alphabetical order, so if you go to the P's, then there we can see Photos. And if you hold your finger down on the Photos icon, then it will bring you back down onto the screen top, and then you can just click and it will actually show you your Photos icon. Now if, like me, you've finished up with two, then again I can just hold my finger down on the icon and then move it up to where it says remove and release, and it's now gone. So here I am on my screen, and here, as you can see, is I've got Photos. If I click onto Photos, then surprise, surprise, the first thing it shows you is the photos. Now mine comes on to Day View, so I can see the photographs that I've taken today. And as you can see, I've been chasing the chickens around the garden, trying to sort of get some photographs that we can use later on. Here's the photographs that I took yesterday, on Sunday the 13th of September, and I can go through and see all the photographs that I've taken on any of the devices that I've got linked to this account. So there's my photographs. Now up in the top corner here, I've actually got the top right hand corner, I've got three little dots. If I click on those three little dots, then I can see different ways that I can view the data. Now as I said, I'm in Day View at the moment. Now because I'm in Day View, we can't see the Day View as an option. However, if I switch to Month View, and there's the images I've taken in September, and then click back on those three little dots, then I can see Day View again. If I click onto Comfortable View, then it makes the images slightly larger so that we can actually see the images in greater detail. And indeed, if I want to see even more, I can just point to an image and just press on it, tap on it, and it will show me that image in greater detail. And of course, I have got the zoom facility just by holding my fingers together and then just expanding them out, and that will allow me to see the girls in great splendour. Or indeed, I can actually squeeze them back in, pinch them together to go back to the original image. Up in the top left hand corner, notice that I've actually got a little backward arrow, and that arrow there will take me back to my previous screen. So I'm going to go back up to the top of my images, back onto my three dots, and then I can go back to Day View, which shows me the view of these images. Next to that, I've actually got a plus sign. Now if I click onto the plus sign, what the plus sign allows me to do is it allows me to create new items. So I can create an album. So I could have an album called Chickens, and I could put my images into an album called Chickens. Or I could create a movie where I could actually have the various images that I wanted, and it would show them as a picture story. So it would show an image, show an image, show an image. And in a movie we can actually put music behind it. I could have a story, so I could tell a story for each image as we go through. I can have animation, where I could actually animate the images, and I can have a collage, which would be a few images all put together into one image. So let's start out then by creating an album. So if I click onto album, then I can choose which images I want in the album. So I'm going to choose these 5 images here, and once I've chosen them, in the top right it now says create. So I click onto create, and here it then brings these up and it says that this is untitled. So I'm going to give this a name of autumnal, and then tick to say that that's what it's called. This is now being saved, and I've now created myself an album called autumnal. Notice at the top here I've now got some additional options. I've got a little pencil, and the pencil would allow me to go in and to edit or add in additional images into my autumnal album. So I can click onto done, and that's now added one more item into my autumnal album. The back arrow there will allow me to go back. The next arrow, the next one across is the share button, and that would allow me to share this against the various options that I've actually got available to share. So I could share that against Google+, I could copy it to my clipboard, I could send it via Gmail, I've got Hangouts, I get a link that I can share with anybody, and I've also got Android Beam. Now again, if I just click inside of here, and then again I could click on the three dots, and then here I can edit the album title, I can delete the album, or I can get help and feedback. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on this back arrow here, and this takes me back to my collections. Now the collections I've got here are my stories. So there is the autumnal story. Here I go onto my albums, and there's the autumnal album that we've just created. So again, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back onto the plus, because this time what I want to do is I want to create a movie. So I'm going to create a movie, and the movie I'm going to create consists of these images here. And there's 6 images. It tells me that there's times 6 up there in the top left hand corner. I click on to create, and it's now creating my movie for me from the images that we've selected. So there I can see that, and if I click onto my little play button in the middle there, it's now going to play this. Now again, there will be some music in the background here, but as you can see, this is how it's actually working at the moment. Now underneath the video, I've got 3 options. The first option here allows me to choose the style that I actually want. Now here I'm going to choose memories, so it's changed the style to give me this sort of a look. I quite like that, so I'm going to keep with that. So once I'm happy with a selection, then all I would do is click on the tick there, and that would actually allow me to choose that that's the one I actually want. That's now been saved. The next one across is the little music button, and then I can choose the button or the music that I want. And there's a few different music choices that I can choose. There's electronic, there's reflective, there's rocking, upbeat. There's ones I've chosen recently. So I'm going to choose Whistling Down the Road. Click on the tick. It's going to now process that, so it's assigned the music against the image. Now while that's actually just doing the processing, I should say that each image lasts about 3 seconds on the screen, and at the moment we can't change that. Now undoubtedly at some point in the future Google will get around to actually adding this facility in there, but at the moment we can't do it. However, what we can do is we can export the video, and then we could use a video editor to play about with it and to change it into different ways that we actually want it to work. So if I just click onto there, yeah, so that's now playing that with a different tune. Don't know if you can actually hear that tune, but again it's playing. So I'm now just going to stop that again. And the final button is the one that looks like a film strip, and what that allows me to do is to change the order of those images. So I could actually just pick up one of these images here and shuffle it into a different place. Now I'm not going to do that because they're actually already in order, but the way I would do it is just hold it down, and then I could actually move it around to put it into its new place. And again, click on that tick when you're happy and it's done what you want it to do. Okay, so we've now got the images all working, ready to go. So again, at the top I've got the share button that would allow me to share my video. At the top it says untitled, so I can type into there, and again I could actually decide what I want to call it. So I'm going to call it chickens, and then again I can click the tick, and I've now got a video called chickens. Okay, so then I'm going to go back, and that will take me back to my collections. And again, if I click onto albums, here I've got albums, movies. So let's have a look at my movies, and there's my movies called Chickens at the top there. So again, if I click on the plus sign, the next one down is a story that would allow me to tell a story of how of whatever I wanted. So I could actually click onto story. And again, I could now select these, all of these images to create the story, and then click on create, and it's now going to build all of these into a story. So there we go. Wednesday Morning in Wilnecote is the name of my story, and there's the girls, and I can click onto here, and as you can see, it starts out by saying, yeah, this is at PJ Reed's house, so this is in my back garden. And again, I could actually leave that in there. I can move across, and I can add a description to any of these images. So here I could actually put in to say that this is Reg. Reg is the black hen who thinks he's a cockerel, and the other one is called Lavender. So that's Reg and Lavender, and I can click onto there, and it's now got that as part of the story. So there we go, and I can actually go through and add a description in for each of the images as we're actually going through this process. And when we reach the end of the story, it will actually say the end. And again, at the top there, I've got the little plus button that would allow me to add more images into my story. I've got the share button that would allow me to share my story, and I've got the back arrow. And so here I'm still on movies, so let's go down to my stories. There's my Wednesday morning in Wilnecote story. Again, if I click onto the plus sign, the next one down is animation. And the reason I've actually chased the chickens around the garden this morning is so that we actually had some images where I was standing in one place. And hopefully, if I create, we'll be able to create an animation. And an animation effectively will be a single image where there is some movement as it goes through. So here is the animation, and hopefully that will start to play in a moment. And there it is, there we go, there's the two girls, noticing that I'm actually looking at them. They gaze around themselves to see which way to go. Reg takes the lead and Lavender follows on. So again, as you can see, that's great. And down in the bottom this time, I've got an option of share, I've got information, and I've also got the bin if I want to do anything else. And I'm just going to use the back arrow there just to go back, and I've now created an animation. The final thing I want to do is to go back onto the plus sign, is to create a collage. So I've clicked onto collage, and I'm just going to choose 5 images at random, and then click onto create. And there it is, we've created ourselves a collage. So as you can see, we've got a fantastic amount of power working with the tablet in terms of creating all of these fantastic images that we can actually now play with. Now notice we've got a little red dot on top of there, and that is to say that there is something happening in the assistant. And as you can see, we've got a new animation that's been created because it's actually spotted that there was a set of images that were taken from roughly the same place. So it's auto created an animation for me. So I can click on save to the library, and that backup is that's now complete. So again, I can just swipe to go back across to my photographs. And now the other thing that we've got is down the bottom here, I've actually got the magnifying glass, and that would allow me to search through my images. Now it's suggesting places and things, and as things that I may want to have a look at. So for example, if I search tapping on the place Wilnecote, then it will show me all of the images that it's actually had from around the Wilnecote area. Again, if I click back onto here, if I choose Dolgelly, then again it will show me the images that I've taken in Dolgelly, and I can choose Whittington to see the images that I've taken in Whittington. So it will allow me to actually get images by places. Now that is because I've got the system automatically taking account of my location. Underneath here I've got other things that it may be. So for example, I can look at birds, and here it will show me pictures of birds that I've taken. Notice how it's actually identified that chickens are actually birds. There's a peacock, there's some ducks, there's the heron on the lake. Yeah, so I can go through and see all the various different pictures that I've taken of birds over the years. There's also a search. So I could search for faces and click. And now it's showing me pictures of all the faces that I've actually got on my tablet or in my Google account that I've used for various reasons in various systems, etc. So again, it can be a very useful little system, this, and a great way of actually playing about. So there we've got a quick introduction to the new Google Photos app I hope that helps, and I'll look forward to talking to you later. Cheers then. Bye.